Burnout. It's not the kind of tired sleep fixes. It's not the kind where you just take a nap and wake up feeling normal again. It's different. It's when you wake up and already feel done with the day, even though it just barely started. Like your mind was running all night, even if your body was asleep. And now you're just there, staring at the ceiling, trying to convince yourself to get up. But you don't feel anything. No motivation, no excitement, not even sadness sometimes. Just empty. And people don't really fully understand that feeling. Because from the outside, it looks like you're being lazy, like you're not trying, like you're wasting time. But they don't hear the thoughts in your head. They don't feel how everything is. Even the smallest things, replying to a message, getting out of bed, doing something you normally wouldn't think twice about. It feels like so much more. And the weird part is you still care. You still think about your future. You still think about doing better. You still have goals. But it's like there's a gap between you wanting to do it and having the actual energy to do it. And that gap just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you start questioning yourself, like, why am I like this? Why can't I get up? And why can't I do it? And slowly it turns into guilt because you feel like you're falling behind and seeing everyone else moving, posting, working out progress, and you're just stuck. And I kind of had the same experience when I was doing cross country and doing wrestling. Even before cross country season even started, I was experiencing burnout. The summer before cross country, I was doing workouts. I was waking up every single day, motivated. One day, I just didn't feel right and I didn't want to do it anymore. Like I was still going to meets, but going to practices felt like an eternity, felt like a burden. Like I really didn't want to do it. Like I wanted to go straight home and just chill. Me doing wrestling, I thought that would fix that. I thought maybe I just needed the discipline. Maybe I just needed the push. That was legit the opposite of what I needed. I hated wrestling. I hated going to practice, and I hated being there overall. But I did make it far in wrestling because I had to force myself. I had to literally force myself to go to practice, force myself to do all of the movements, but I hated it genuinely because I was so burnt out. And now, last year I was a track MVP. I loved track, but now I don't even want to do it because I was so burnt out at the time and I missed my shot. Burnout is a real thing, and that right there, that's what really drains you. Not just the tiredness, but the constant pressure, the overthinking, the feeling that you're running out of time, and also the constant pressure of having to go to practice, letting people down. And even when you're still young and no one really talks about how exhausting that is, how your mind can be loud all day, even when you're doing absolutely nothing, just constant thoughts. What if I'm not doing enough? What if I mess up? What if I never become who I said I'd be? What if I look bad because I'm not going to practice? What if I look bad because I quit right now? And of course you're tired, but it's not physical, it's mental, it's emotional. It's the kind of tired that builds up slowly over time, from pushing yourself too hard, or even from just thinking too much. From trying to have everything figured out before you're even supposed to. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're burnt out. And I didn't realize that till later, because during track season, I was going to practice. I was running miles. I was running almost 30-40 miles per week. I was running 4-minute miles to try to beat the fastest PR and get the school record. And I didn't realize how much I was pushing myself to the point to burnout. Because when I was going into cross country season after track season, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was still one of the fastest on my team, running 18-minute 3 miles. And I wasn't even happy that I got that. It wasn't even like an accomplishment. I was so burnt out that I couldn't even realize what I was doing. I just didn't want to be there. I wanted to go home. I thought it was on going home and relaxing. It wasn't even about the PRs. It wasn't even about winning. It wasn't even about CIF. It was about just going home. Like I said, you don't even realize you're burnt out. You just think this is how life is. Like it's normal, waking up tired, going through the motions and not really feeling present, just existing. And that's the part that is scary because you start to lose yourself a little bit. Things that used to make you happy don't hit the same anymore. Music, going out, talking to people, it all feels kind of dull and you don't know why. So you try to force everything. You try to push yourself harder to be more disciplined, to be more productive. But in the end, you're just hating it and thinking that it's going to fix everything, but it just makes everything worse because you're trying to run on an empty tank and eventually your mind just shuts down even more. And then you start to feel even worse because now you're doing less and the cycle just keeps going and going and going. No one really teaches you how to deal with that. Just to tell you to keep going, stay busy, don't be lazy. But sometimes what you actually need is the opposite. Sometimes you need to slow down, not quit, not give up, just take a pause without feeling guilty about it, without feeling like you're wasting time because you're not a machine. You're not supposed to be going Mach 10 all the time. Taking a step back doesn't mean you're falling behind. It might actually be the thing that you need to move forward again, slowly at your own pace. Maybe right now, you don't need to fix everything. Maybe you don't need to have your whole life figured out. Maybe you just need to breathe for a second, to let your mind rest, to stop being so hard on yourself, because burnout isn't weakness. It's usually a sign of when you've been carrying too much weight for too long without giving yourself a real break. And you don't have to keep proving yourself every single day. You're allowed to just be, even if it's just for a little while. And maybe that's where it starts, not with forcing yourself to do more and giving yourself permission to slow down and come back to yourself. Like, that was the thing, like, coming back to track season as a track MVP, that's a lot of pressure. And already being burnt out and not wanting to do that anymore, and having that pressure being, you're the MVP of last year, you're supposed to be the best on the team, you're supposed to keep up your miles, you're supposed to constantly be training. I was running 4-minute miles, gassing myself out every single day, and coming back in February to continue the season, it just felt like a heavy burden to carry, and having that pressure to keep up. Like, for me, the coach was always pushing me to keep up, and coming back to the season and not holding that standard and not being the same fitness I was before, it kind of sucked to go back and lay him down. Because I wasn't training, I wasn't doing any of that. I was completely burnt out. I was doing wrestling and I hated it. So coming back to that, it genuinely sucked because I've had so much pressure to keep up what I was doing, and I couldn't even do it anymore. So the thing about that is it's sneaky. It creeps up on you when you're busy chasing things or when you're sitting still and thinking about them. Sometimes it's loud, your mind is racing, your chest is tight. Sometimes it's quiet, like a fog over everything. You don't notice it at first, you just feel off. And that's the thing. Like, I didn't even notice I had it till a couple months ago after wrestling season, because I was so burnt out. And after I chilled and took a step back, I didn't even do track this year because of it, because it genuinely sucks. I needed a break. I needed that second to relax. Like, even your own hobbies, the stuff you love doing, doesn't feel the same anymore. And that can be scary because you start thinking and asking yourself, who am I? What am I even doing? Why do I even care? And you might not have the answers, and it's okay. There's no rule that says you need them right now. And that's one of the hardest parts about the burnout. You feel stuck in your own life. You feel like you're watching it happen, but you can't jump in it. And you think, maybe I'm broken, maybe I'm failing, and maybe, is this normal? But it's not. It's a signal. It's your mind telling you to slow down, to stop running, to stop forcing, not working harder, not pushing more, just being human, just breathing and just being here. And that being said, guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. Also, I also want to put up the TikTok. I also started TikTok not too long ago. I want to shout out the new subscribers and put up on the screen. Also, I appreciate all of your guys' comments. They help out a lot. And also, put down below if you guys don't have any topics you guys want me to speak on and everything. But with that being said, guys, see you guys later.